We're going to tell the truth about Zillow Zestimates and why you can't believe everything you read. We're going to talk about the deal of the week, which happens to be in Los Gatos. And so if you're looking for a single family home, pay attention. And then finally, what happens if your real estate agent goes on vacation? A lot of great information today. Got to tune in. Here we go. All right, guys, here we go. The three amigos. Welcome to another episode of Unlocking Silicon Valley. And even though it drives me crazy, I know Jeet would not be happy if he did not say
it,
Happy
Jeet.
podcast day.
Happy podcast day.
Amen.
All right, so just three of us today, so that means it'll be good, flowing conversation. We don't have people talking over each other.
Controlled, organized.
Calm. So so the calm will be low, but the vibes will be high.
Yeah, grab a drink, popcorn.
Dave's voice is very soothing today already. So everyone sit back.
Yep.
Recline your chair.
Got my podcast ASMR going. I'm going to jump right into market stats. I know we cover this just about every podcast, but I think it's important to know where things are trending, right? And so activity-wise, I feel like all three of us are feeling busy, right? We're seeing it on the team. I mean, you guys continue to kill it. Right now, we're sitting on about 1,064 single-family homes for sale, with about another 250 coming on soon. With 623 pendings, that means we have roughly 1.5 months of inventory available on the market. And so for maybe folks listening or watching for the first time, still, I would say it's still very much a seller's market. Sellers have the majority of the control. But because inventory is up, and we'll talk more about that later, buyers don't feel, I think, as pressured, right? Am I right? I mean, you guys work with buyers.
100%.
Yeah.
And to have to jump in on the first house, the first weekend. So we're seeing things kind of just a little bit of calm, I think, which is nice, because I want my clients that are buyers to have a little time to think it through, right? And not see a house for 15 minutes and then write an offer for $2.5 million and not see it again until you're in contract with no contingencies, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I think some of my buyers recently, we've had the privilege of going to the property a couple of more times, because things are not flying off the shelves a week into the market. So, as you mentioned, like, we've been going back multiple times. We've been making sure we cover all our grounds and comparing it to some of the other properties on the market and seeing, what they like, dislike. And it's a good pace that we are on right now. It's like things are not flying off the shelves, but they're also not sitting for too long. And there's a lot of options out there for buyers.
Yeah, and I think the more options buyers have, then a lot of times they're more committed when they make that decision, because they know they've seen enough homes or enough properties to know what they don't like. And so when they find the one that they do, then like, okay, like even though inventory's up, this is still the one house that we want out of 7 or 10 or 12.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like a great example, I just got a property in a contract today in Los Gatos, and that's 2,200 square feet on a 10,000 square feet lot, and that's sub 3 million, which,
Wow.
we were talking about a few months ago, like
Can't
starter
get in.
homes are
Yeah.
1,500 square feet in an interior street, with a 10,000 square feet lot in Los Gatos is like 3+ million.
Right.
So when they had seen all of that over the months and prices kind of declining, when they got this deal, they were like pretty excited to jump on and grab onto it, because they've seen enough where they feel experienced enough to make that call and better judgment.
Yeah, and even though inventory's up, what buyers can't do is say, oh, I'm just going to wait until the perfect one comes up, right? Because there's no perfect home. And what happens is they end up missing out, and then prices go up or inventory drops. And so it is hard to find a home in our market, regardless if we have relatively lots of inventory or very little inventory. So, it's nice to have options, but don't stay on the fence too long. If you're a condo or townhome seller, you're still kind of screwed.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we have over 800 condos and townhomes in Santa Clara County for sale, and only about 230 or so are pending. Right. So we've got about almost 3 months worth of inventory. I had a client call me yesterday. He's having some financial challenges. He's got some health issues, and we just put him into a townhome a year ago. And the first question he asked is, well, do I have to worry about capital gains? I said, no way, because if anything, prices are down. And he asked me, he goes, should I sell now or try to hold on till spring? And I think that's one of the cool things when you work with us, right? We're not like, oh yeah, you have to sell right now. Yeah. I could comfortably tell him, hey, I would not sell your townhome right now. If you can wait till first quarter of next year, I think you'll be in a much better position. I think a lot of the SB 326, issues will have settled down. Mm-hmm. Maybe rates will drop a little bit, in the next 6 to 9 months, and he should be in a better position. So, that's the other thing too. When people are interviewing agents, understanding that a good agent or a great agent gives advice, based on what's right for the client, not what's right for the agent's, pocketbook or checking account.
Being a fiduciary, right? Out for the client's best interest first.
And that's the other, we're blessed that we have a lot of business. We have a lot of deals in the pipeline. So if one of our clients wants to wait 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, 2 years to sell, there's no pressure from us on that. I see other agents throughout other offices, and maybe they only have one transaction they're working on. And if that buyer says, oh, I want to wait 6 months, that agent's like, no, you should buy now or you should sell now. But when you work with a team that does a lot of transactions, we have the added luxury and benefit of really looking out for your best interest, because we have plenty of great clients, from now until the time we transact with you.
Yeah, that's a great topic. Actually, I just got a call from a client a year ago that he bought a house in Blossom Valley, and now he has a job relocation opportunity in New York, and he's like, I might have to sell. He's like, should we sell now or a year from now? I might be making the move 6 to 8 months from now. And he just had a newborn. So many things,
all
many
at once.
moving pieces. And I'm like, look, inventory is at an all-time high. We just sold a property in your neighborhood like last week. We got X number of offers. Here's what the activity is looking like. Here's how your property stands compared to that and what the value would be now. If you have the luxury of waiting a year, that would be a perfect time, because I think rates may drop. Things will be a little different. We won't probably have this much amount of inventory. And he's like, yeah, I totally agree. Let's connect again in a few months and then strategize on what we can do, what kind of upgrades he can do, all of that. So like he wants to fill up the pool in the back, and I'm like, that's a great idea, because that's going to make a lot of those buyers which are 50-50 about the home really like the home and move forward, because a pool, as we know, divides the crowd up.
Absolutely. No, good stuff. And so if you guys have questions about real estate, whether you sell today or sell 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, just let us know. And I think that kind of transitions into a good topic of yours. So I'll let you jump in.
Yeah, a lot of times we say like, hey, you should reach out to us when you're thinking of buying or selling. But when is that, right? Is it a year from now, or you're thinking of buying a house a year from now, or you're thinking of buying a house now? I would say the sooner the better that you can reach out to us, so that we can set you up with success. Like give you all the information you would need, so that we are. We have a dream team around you that sets you up for success when you're ready, right? You have a lender on board. You have us helping you analyze different locations, neighborhoods, schools, as well as getting your finances in order with the lender. So you're making sure your credit's in check. You have 2 years of work history and all your pay stubs, bank statements. If you're a business owner, you're paying yourself enough so that you can qualify for the loan. All of those things that you want to check with a lender, and we can set you up with great ones that we've worked with before that can set you up for success when the time's right.
Yeah, I think some of my favorite stories is when like I'll meet a young couple, that like, hey, we don't know where to start. We don't know, what to do. So we sit down, we'll look at their credit, we'll look at their income, look at how much time it's going to take them to save, and then sometimes it's 3, 4, 5 years later, they come back and like, all right, we're ready to buy. Yeah. And so to know that we were able to help them kind of at the very early stages, when I think a lot of agents wouldn't even spend time with them, right? Yeah. I think most agents say, well, hey, go talk to a lender, and when you get qualified, give me a call. Versus us, we kind of reverse engineer that, and we say, okay, where are you at in your life right now? What are your goals? And then we actually help them create that path to home ownership. So yeah, if it's 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, it doesn't matter. The sooner you reach out to us, the better, because the more information you have, right? The more information you have, you can make an educated decision, and it may alter the path that you thought you were on, and we may get you there, a little sooner, or maybe it's a little better house, or you're better able to understand the timing of the market. So that way, it just kind of gives you that information you need to make an informed decision.
Absolutely. I like the client that I got into contract today. I've been working with him for a little over 12 months, so just about a year, and we've seen so many properties over time where he was waiting for some of the stocks to vest, some of the things to align, so that he can be ready for when the time is right. So, that goes to show like it takes time to, especially it's one of the biggest decisions that you'll make. So having the right team around you that sets you up for success, because sometimes you will have a question on a random Tuesday about the home process, and you would be like, okay, what do I do about that? And when you have those contacts already set up, it's like you have that channel. And the great thing that we do is like sometimes we set up up a group chat between myself, the lender, and the buyer, and any question that gets put in, and anyone takes over and gets that question answered right away. So it's a very efficient process on the buy side as well as the sell side.
Yeah, and I think a lot of times too, what sellers too, but buyers don't maybe think about is, whether we start with you and it takes us 2 weeks to find you a home or 2 years to find you a home, we don't get compensated until we close escrow, right? So we may spend, and I think we're one of the only industries that will invest years of our time into an individual to try to help them reach a goal without any guaranteed compensation at the end, right? Yeah. So I just want to remind potential buyers out there, one, yes, we love to educate and give you that information, but just know too, we're committed to you and we hope that you're committed to us throughout the process. The saddest thing is when you work with somebody for 2 or 3 years, you get them ready to buy a house, then they're ready to buy and they're like, oh, my cousin just got their license.
Like, oh, no, he didn't.
Yeah. So, buyers, educate yourself. I saw that there's a great billboard back east right now that another realtor put up.
Oh, yeah.
I'll send it to Jacob.
Jacob, put it right here.
Yeah. Put it right there. And it says something like, last year we sold 546 homes, and it says your cousin sold 2. And so, who you work with matters. And so, I definitely think our market too, because it does move so quickly, the price amounts are so high, you got to work with an experienced, educated agent. I believe in the team approach. I've done both. I've been a single agent. I've owned a brokerage. Now I'm part of our team here. And from a customer support perspective, I think there's nothing better than a well-run team.
Yeah.
Which brings me up to my next topic.
Here we go.
For a home buyer or a home seller, what happens if your agent goes on vacation?
Not a topic that gets brought up a lot.
Right.
But
yeah, because, we go on vacation. All of us here like to travel.
We're humans.
And
we have families.
Things. Yeah. And we bust our day in and day out, nights, weekends, mornings. And so we do like to go on vacation every once in a while. In fact, Aaron is in Europe right now.
Yeah, he's in Portugal.
He is Portugal today. He was in Italy before that, and who knows where he'll be after. But I bring it up to say that as a consumer, home buyer, home seller, when you're interviewing an agent or a team, I think that's a valid question. It's like, hey, what happens when you're on vacation or unavailable, right? And one of the things that I noticed when I was just a single or sole agent was that, man, you can never take a day off and recharge. Now, I know when we all go on vacation, we're still responding to text and email. But what if something happens to one of your homes while you're out of town? Right? Stuff happens. Window gets busted, staging furniture gets stolen, or, somebody knocks over your for sale sign. There's so many things that can go wrong before, during, and while the property's in escrow. And, it's important when a consumer's interviewing an agent, it's like, okay, well, what's your contingency plan? What do you have in place when you're not here? What happens if you get in a car accident, right? Yeah. Life happens. And that's, again, why I think a well-run team, like all of us here, we know all of each other's listings. We know what's going on with buyers that are in contract. We sit in team meetings, production status meetings, week in and week out. So I know, because I'm going on vacation on Sunday, that when I leave, you guys know what I have going on, what listings need assistance. And then we have Jeffrey that runs around to all of our listings, locks the doors, puts the toilet seats down, refills the flyer boxes, and then Jessica that kind of runs things from the office. And so, I know it's like beating a dead horse, but who you work with matters. But also, do your research. There are a lot of really good solo agents out there. But man, I go in the office and I see them and they just look beat to
lonely.
Haven't had a day off in a year and a half because they're afraid to take a day off. They're afraid to walk away and relax. And I think in any industry, especially ours, it's critical that we get an opportunity to step back, recharge, right? Change or restructure our vision a little bit to figure out, make sure that we're serving our customers the highest and best that we can. And then also just getting a fresh perspective on what we do so we don't get burnt out, right? I think that's one of the great things. We walk in here every morning, we're fired up, to go in and help people buy, sell, and invest in real estate. So anyway, off my soapbox now, hire a team or a single agent with a really good contingency.
Hire us.
Yeah, no doubt. Jay, what do you got?
Love it. Article I came across. I think it's a common topic that comes up with buyers, maybe more especially sellers. So it was titled "The Truth About Zestimates in 2025." So just for very simplified, Zestimate is a feature on Zillow that has essentially an estimate of what the home's worth.
It's an algorithm that grabs data and comes up with the number.
Yeah. And so, if you've bought one house or inherited a house or haven't had a lot of experience, a lot of people I know just kind of look at that and they go, that sounds like a good number. Let's go with that.
Is that always accurate?
Is a Zestimate accurate? Zillow has its own page dedicated to saying why Zestimates are accurate.
Correct. Yeah. So, the article gave the pros and cons. So like pros where the Zestimate will be accurate is what it had. The main one was if homes in the area have similar layouts, so they're all similar like builds and designs.
Better type houses.
And then the one that's like an issue is they're all similar condition, which there's no way for them to, virtually do that.
Zillow has never stepped foot inside your home.
Correct. So, and then Jeet and I were talking, actually, Mark had a listing appointment yesterday. We, like David said, being on a team, we kind of round table, hey, you just sold one there. What are you seeing? Like, any kind of nuances in the neighborhood, like, let us know. So we sit down, we look at the house, and beautiful house. It's going to have no problem selling, especially for top dollar. But there was a few things Jeet and I started pointing out, which, Mark initially, not that he didn't know, but just we round table and he's like, oh, okay. One of them, the house faced northwest, which for our Indian population,
it's not bad, but it's not perfect.
It's
right?
not the ideal.
It's not the ideal. It's usually between north and east, which is perfect. And this one faces northwest, which is good for natural light. Everything is not bad. Right. It's just from a Vasta standpoint, it's not the best. The other thing was T-junction.
It was on T intersection.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it was on
right in the heart.
T-junction. And although it was on a court T-junction, so no through traffic, it's still a T-junction. So, some beliefs may not write an offer on that kind of a property.
Yeah. So nothing that's gonna, instantly devalue a house, but like it's good. Zillow obviously is not going to take that into account.
Yeah.
And, going into that listing appointment, you're kind of equipped with, hey, look, I'm not only aware of like your house, and the comps in the area, but these small nuances that, who's going to be our potential buyer. Just something to be aware of.
And like if you have a home on the Los Gatos Campbell border, and Zillow doesn't know if you're going to Campbell schools or Los Gatos schools, right? So big difference in pricing there as well. And so, it's a Zestimate.
I like the word intangibles, right? Like Zillow doesn't know the intangibles. Like it doesn't know how much natural light you have, how the layout flows.
If your house smells like a litter box. We've seen them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all of those things that Zillow doesn't know, can't take that into, can't factor that into the price. But it's great at spitting out a number. Getting you a good range of what your home is worth compared to some of the recent comps.
Yeah, and I think it's a good segue because I think this is Jeet's Deal of the Week, which is also my listing that I put on today on Mill Road. The current Zestimate is under my list price. But I'm going to screenshot it as a kind of a before and after, and because we're probably going to sell it for $125,000 to $150,000 over the asking price. So if the seller just believed Zillow and said, "Hey, David, that's the number I want," because Zillow's always right, they're leaving tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table. So it is just a guide. It's a number for conversation.
Yeah,
it's a range.
What I love to see is also the difference between Zillow and Redfin's estimate. It's sometimes 300 to 400,000 off. Yeah. Like for the townhome that we're talking about, it's actually 400,000 off.
Yeah.
So I checked this morning on Redfin and I was like, wow, is that what it's worth? And on Zillow, I'm like, why is it overpriced? it's just over. It's two ends of the spectrum.
Again, it's just how you look at data. A lot of times you can manipulate data to sell the story that you want to sell, right? But so we'll see. So stay tuned. We'll see what it actually ends up selling for, and if Zillow or Redfin were right. But I mean, would you like to talk about the deal of the week?
Absolutely. It's a beautiful townhome. Actually, wait, let me restart.
So it's classified as a attached single family home with a condo use, right? So the condos, it's condo planning development.
So it's a condo that feels like that's actually a townhome, but it's...
Well, so remember, there's condo ownership,
right,
which is different than a kind of traditional condo, right? Condos, right. You think there's, a first floor, second floor, third floor.
Right.
And townhomes, a little different, right? Because townhomes, you get a little bit of a backyard, and
right.
Oftentimes it's PUD, land classification. Our land classification for this deal of the week is condo.
Okay.
But it lives kind of like a single family. It looks like a single family attached home.
So are we listing that as a attached single family?
Yes.
Oh, great. VKG deal of the week. Attached single family home
under
in
$2
Los
million.
Gatos. Under $2 million. 4-bed, 2.5 bath, has a backyard, very low HOA, under $300 a month.
$289.
And it has the top Los Gatos schools.
And a great location.
Fantastic location, right across from our office.
Yep. Yeah. In fact, I walked over there when I did my listing appointment.
100%.
And right off of the freeway, right? So you're right off of 17. You're right around the corner from Vasona, and you're 5-6 minutes to downtown Los Gatos. And it's kind of key being off the Lark exit, especially in the summertime, because traffic on 17 gets so built up so Lark is kind of like that point where traffic starts to build.
Right.
So it's nice that you can kind of get on and off right on Lark or 85.
And I absolutely love the layout. Like the hallway upstairs is wide. All the 4 bedrooms are spacious.
Yep.
There's plenty of natural light, big windows. The kitchen's really nicely done with the travertine countertops.
It's got the EV charger.
It's got the EV charger, hardwood floors, and it's got a nice backyard too. So
yeah, and from what the sellers tell me, they're downsizing. Their kids are grown now, but from what they told me, because it's a small community, and everybody knows each other, and they kind of pull for each other in there. So that's what else can you ask for? And under $2 million, Los Gatos schools.
Absolutely, I shared it with one of my buyers that's been looking for something exactly like that, and he's really excited to go see it this weekend.
Yeah, and we're all doing different days on the open houses, so come see one of us Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Absolutely, we'll be there.
See you this weekend.
That's it. All right. Anything else? Short and sweet today. You got something else? Parting words?
That's about it.
I will talk about some of our client events.
Oh, yeah.
So last week we had Superman, Client Appreciation Night, 2 movie theaters, completely sold out. I thought it was a phenomenal movie.
Great movie.
Yeah. So that was fun. I'm sure we posted images of that. And then we've got Music in the Park starting up this Sunday. So this Sunday, and I believe for the next 6 or 8 Sundays, VKG Real Estate Group. We've got the VIP tent. We've partnered with local Los Gatos food merchants, so we're passing out free food. We're passing out free VKG swag. We got the VKG cups.
Absolutely.
Which is pretty exciting. But come out and join us. It's free. But the VIP section is private to us and a few of the other sponsors. So if you guys want to get in, just reach out to us. And I think other than that, that's it. Aaron's in Portugal. Mark's leaving for Hawaii tomorrow. I'll be in Greece on Sunday. And Jason.
We'll be here. Whatever you need.
Because we're a team, right?
That's right.
Because we're a team. So, all right, guys. I think that's it. Short and sweet.
Hey.
And back to work.
Absolutely.
All right. See you next time.